KDB is fire.
Beats Planet.
Yo, what's happening? Button, what's happening? What's good, y'all? Hello. Been a while since we've been here. I might be a little rusty. Haven't done this in a good little bit, so my bad. Let me just kind of hit this one time, just so y'all, just so y'all ain't got life messed up, and then just so we can make sure, we hit this little. You know what I mean? Let me just bust this one. That was a little loud. Hey, that was a little loud, wasn't it? Let me hit this. You know what I hate about my settings though? When I come on here and make settings, I never touch them. But for some reason they keep changing. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep changing. Like I've done something different. I just line up, hit the button, and it's always different when I get here. Let's see if this is better. That's much better. Yeah. That's much better. We ain't talked in a while. We ain't talked all last week. Cause because it was like the North Pole and shit last week in Houston. It's like in Texas, really, but it's like 70 degrees now. Appreciate all the well wishes. Appreciate everybody that reached out or whatnot. Everybody that hit the the multiple different platforms to kind of help out a little bit. All that's greatly appreciated. But at the end of the day, though, what I kept telling people, right? What I kept telling people that they'll just check in on me, and like it was just one thing I just kept saying to just kind of get my mind through it or whatever. Like if I told a homeless man my problems, he'll laugh at me. You know what I'm saying? So it sucked. Like it was cold. Like you know what I mean, and it was dark, but like I was alive. You know what I mean? Like I had a little heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a roof. Like it was 19 degrees outside, but it was like 40 degrees in the crib. At least it's 40 degrees in the crib. You know what I mean? So I, just if just stayed positive through it, and it was all good at the end of it. Lights came back on. This how rough they do the ghetto, right? And I can't wait to leave. Like in my little complex or whatever, like it's my building to my left, building to my right. Building to my left and across the street got lights before my building, and building to my right got lights. Tragic. Then my building got lights before the building to my right got lights. Tragic. So what ended up happening was I had like a whole bunch extra left over from the donations that I got or whatever. Like, people that hit my Cashapp and PayPal or whatnot. Like it was a whole bunch left over. Shouts out to Mark Holmes and them, Law Nation. They did like a telethon type deal. It wasn't even telethon. Like they just did a show, and at the bottom there was like shouts out to Voch, Lombardi, support him. I just had a whole bunch of donation money left over, and I was fine for the most part. So I just ended up taking that money and helping other folks with it or whatever. So if y'all help me with that, like I made groceries with some of it, you know what I mean? But with the rest of it, I just helped some other people out. Some people that was directly next to me. Some people whose lights are still out in Mississippi and Louisiana and certain parts of Texas or whatever. We just kind of help those people out. So if you help Voch, you help those people out too. So appreciate y'all. Now that that's out the way, my Evie over there, she just heard me clap. She thought she was in trouble. No, she's fine. Let's talk some ball, shall we? Now, this show ain't gonna be terribly long, and I know I always say that, and it always ends up being terribly long. But I'm gonna go do a show with not even a show, but just like a little appearance over on Coach Evans' channel. I kind of owe Coach Evans one at 8:45 or so. So we got phone lines lit right now. If y'all want to get in and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, you can get in now. 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. The link is on the screen for you if you need to see it. It's also at the top of the chat box. It's pinned up there. You can't miss it. So that's that. I've been seeing a lot of things, man. I don't really do mock drafts too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I think mock drafts are the devil. But I do think that you can look at certain mock drafts with certain context and get information from it. I always quote this Jay-Z line. We used to look at Billboard when we was young. Now we look at Billboard like, is you dumb? You know what I'm saying? I take that same stance with guys like Matt Miller and Daniel Jeremiah, to where once upon a time, like prior to me being full-blown draft YouTube dude, I used to kind of look up to them cats like, yo, man, them dudes got all the information. They know what they doing. They the best scouts in the world. And then I got a little into my own scout bag, and now I see Daniel Jeremiah hyping up Greg Rousseau, and I'm like, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Or I just see other people hyping. I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But what you do learn is from these media scouts, when they don't mock what they feel, they mock what they've heard. And I've been seeing in certain mocks, in certain places, we did a live mock reaction on one of the other shows. Y'all can go check that one out. On one of the other shows, we saw this recurring theme that Kyle Pitts was going to be like a top 5 or 6 guy. I got thoughts on that, but I would love to hear what y'all got to say at some point. I should be writing this down. I got my notepad here. See, I don't type notes. I like to write things down because I'm an old man and I suck. Let me find a good page to write on. What's a good page to write on? So, yeah, Kyle Pitts as a top 5 or 6 dude. I don't know if y'all want to play a little game of buy or sell. We can definitely get into that. Now, if it's up to me as a Cowboys fan, right? Because this show is for 32 teams for everybody listening right now. I kind of want Kyle Pitts to go before my team get him because I don't want to make that mistake of getting him. You know what I'm saying? So I would love for Kyle Pitts to go to the Eagles or something. You know what I mean? But it ain't always going to work that way. I've also heard, too, I was talking to my homeboy, Sadie Fresh, prior to getting on the YouTube with y'all, on the live with y'all, that he saw a mock draft. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah where Daniel Jeremiah mocked Devonta Smith to the Vikings. So that means Devonta Smith had to fall to 14. The best receiver in the class going to have to fall to 14, allegedly. Heisman winner, top tier, route runner. That cat going to fall to 14. I think that's interesting as well. So he shouldn't be falling to 14, but if you one of those people that buy into the whole he's skinny and maybe he'll fall because he's skinny, he'll fall. Like if you buy or sell into that, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I call it bullshit. I don't need Kyle Pitts top 10, and I also don't need Devonta Smith outside of the top 10. Both those things are kind of hogwash-ish to me. But I would love to hear what y'all got to say. Pitts, Smith. And I'm writing this down because I know my call is going to get me there, so I'm going to talk about it as my calls get me there. Also, too, I never really got a full chance to react to the Carson Wentz thing. I think they traded the wrong quarterback, but we'll talk about that. I don't think it's going to really bother the draft too much. We can get into if you think the Eagles should draft a quarterback. I would love to hear Eagles fans. I know why, certain YouTube channels are successful when it comes to like reactions and things like that, because I caught myself doing it. Like when the Carson Wentz trade happened, I found whatever internet I possibly could while I was outside my truck with my heat on. Like I just wanted to find somebody so I can get their reaction to it. Brunson had a pretty interesting angle on it. You know what I mean? Like because me and him had that whole preseason talk. That whole he thought Carson was better than Dak, and I was like, bullshit. If people thought I was scared of Brunson, I'm not scared to debate nobody. But let me just hold on. Where my button at, dog? I don't like kicking nobody while they down, dog. I just ain't never had this conversation with nobody. But on that whole, is Dak better than Carson Wentz? Just and of course, I've been watching Cornerbacks, man. So let me write that down also, because I know my callers are going to take me there. I'm going to go to Nick Gasher first, because I know what he calling in about. He been wanting to talk about this shit for a week, and I ain't been able to hold Nick Gasher down. So like I said, if you want to call into the show, the number's on the screen. Let's get it going. We're going to go Nick first, then Tyler the Scout, then Ed from Atlanta. Nick Gasher, what's happening, man?
What's going on, Voch? How you staying warm out there in Texas?
It's 70 degrees in Texas now, so don't ask me if I'm staying warm.
Shit.
It's hot outside now.
Okay.
This ain't like
better than us.
Hey, look, this ain't like every other part of the world where like it's cold one day, but the climate dictates that it should be cold the next day. Anything that's close to the equator, and I think Texas is like right along it. Like, yeah, it'll be like 19 degrees one day, but it was like 75 today. So it's definitely hot outside. So
right.
Yeah. But appreciate you
for checking
warm.
In. Just catching up on the past week, right? I watched Kelvin Joseph.
Tell me about Kelvin Joseph, sir.
Here's the thing. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that there was a lot of people that like left me comments and shit, but I wasn't able to get to them because I ain't have internet. But when my comments started flooding, when my internet came back, I saw yours was like, "Yo, Kelvin Joseph is crazy." So I would love for you to give your thoughts and opinions about Kelvin Joseph, cornerback from Kentucky, and we could just kind of go, back and forth on that. Go ahead, sir.
Here's my thing. So I put out a quarterback rankings video today, and in it I talked about how Zach Wilson ahead of Trevor Lawrence, and in it I talked about Trevor Lawrence has a higher grade for me, but I like Zach Wilson because of what he can do and how he fits into the modern NFL, right? So that's why I like Zach Wilson. I don't necessarily think Kelvin Joseph is a better player than, and I know you'll probably disagree with me on this, but Farley and Surtain, because I have a higher grade on him. Mm-hmm. But I like Kelvin Joseph and what he can do consistently more than Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley. Look at it. He's a perfect blend of both of them, right? He has the technique. Mm-hmm. He keeps his head flow. He engages well with his hands and stuff. Mm-hmm. He has really good speed. That Mississippi State play when he just ran his ass down the field to go catch his buddy that got the interception.
Crazy.
I mean, like, that's, like, crazy. Like, you don't see corners running like that right now. And his instincts are great. If anything, he could be a little bit better as a tackler and a run supporter, but we can work on that. We can work with that. Potentially he's a gun under the seat guy, but that's awesome. Bring him down to the second round so Denver or Dallas, whatever, whoever wants him gets him.
Yeah.
Right? He's awesome. He's awesome. He's my cornerback 3. He's a top 15 player in my book.
So he's awesome, and we've said all these great things about him, Nick Gashler, and I'm not going to, we're not here to fuss Nick Gashler, but I'm seeing this common trend amongst everybody that watch Kelvin Joseph now. Now, we're not talking about drafting, right? Because he's more than just gun under the seat guy. He's choke my coach guy. He's a who got weed guy. He's he's a lot of different guys. He's rapper guy. Boss Man Fat is his rap name. Check out his Spotify. He's a lot of different things. He's a lot of different things, Nick Gashler. But if we only talking about skill, and you talk highly of him, and he has incredible film, and he's a combination of Surtain and Farley, why is he cornerback 3, sir?
Just based on how my board works, he's cornerback 3 just because I didn't give him his highest grades in these certain places. But as a whole, kind of like the way Zach Wilson is for me, he's my corner 1 because he can do both of what Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain does, and he's that one cornerback. And he has also versatility in cover 3 because Kentucky plays a shit ton of cover 3 and also plays a lot of cover 1 and press man coverage. So I think he's cornerback 1 in my mind. But on my board, he's going to be cornerback 3. Still, he's a top 15 player.
Is that because you're afraid, Nick Gashler? What are you afraid of, Nick?
Afraid
Gashler?
Of what?
Let's have a therapy session right now because I'm seeing a whole bunch of this. Right? And I had to get out of my own way as well, Nick Gashler. I had to because I would constantly see things that weren't simpatico with the national opinion or whatever, right? And I was like, man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just boom, boom, boom. Maybe I should just comply. Everybody else say da. Maybe I should just say what everybody else say, but deep down inside, just feel what I feel because I don't want to be wrong. At the end of the day, Nick, I'm more right than I am wrong. Like, I know people want to be like, yo, Voch, you was wrong about this player. And they may name about 5 players I was wrong about. But if I'm wrong about 5 players in 6 years, I'll take that shit. You know what I mean? I'll take it. Even though I don't think I was wrong. I'll take it. So, Nick, people may not want to say Pat Mahomes is amazing, but because everybody's saying Mitch is better, they could just say Mitch is better. Like, you see this hole that you dig yourself in when you listen to other people. Now, Nick, you've been rocking with me since you was, 14, 15 or something like that, young Nick?
I think 13, honestly.
13. We don't comply in this congregation, young Nick Gashler. Right. So if you think that highly of Kelvin Joseph, put him up there. Just put him up there, Nick.
Yeah, and that's honestly ultimately what it's going to be. I finished watching Kelvin Joseph, and I found as much film on Farley as I could, and as much film as on Surtain as I could, and just watched it and saw if I could adjust grades if I was missing something. I couldn't find it, but as a whole, I liked Kelvin Joseph a lot more than anybody in the class. And no matter what, whether he's a choke your coach out guy or a where's the weed at guy, like, he's still on field. If he can stay on the field, he should be a top 10, top 15 corner in the league soon.
Well, Nick, I don't want to fuss at you because you young and you're still you're still malleable to peer pressure and shit, because you know what I'm saying, you in high school. That's what high schoolers do. They're a little malleable to peer pressure. But as an old man, I don't care what other people say. Because look, how about this? When Micah Parsons was the clear-cut 4th overall pick, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just got to trust yourself sometimes. And I'm watching Kelvin Joseph, and I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm going to let you talk or hang up on you, whichever one you want to do. I look at Pat Surtain, and I ask myself, how many situations would I feel good about playing Pat Surtain? Then I ask myself, how many situations do I feel good about playing Kelvin Joseph? I feel good about playing Kelvin Joseph in more situations than I do Pat Surtain. Like if I'm a defense that plays a whole bunch of cover zero, like I blitz and I don't have a lot of safety help and it's just man coverage, I'm not drafting Pat Surtain to play in that defense. Hell no. You better give me some safety help with damn Patrick Surtain. But if I got Kelvin Joseph, I know Kelvin Joseph can run. I know he can run with Julio Jones. I feel good about playing Kelvin Joseph with them. I know Kelvin Joseph is patient enough. I've seen him be patient and not grab. You saw them. You saw the Florida play where Buddy was trying to set the slant up with the fade, but he was patient and he made dude run through him. Nick, come on, son. Caleb Farley ain't got them plays in him. In him, Nick. I'm not trying to persuade you, sir. I'm just saying at some point.
No, you're right. You're right.
At some point, we're gonna talk about it, Nick. Go ahead.
And the struggle for me has been, I'm talking to my uncle, I'm talking to my friends who are into this stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm banging the table for Kelvin Joseph, and they're like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Go look at him. Look, just watch the tape, and you see for yourself."
You'll find him.
I said I do the goofy little Pro Football Network mock drafts with my uncle for the Broncos.
Yeah.
And I had us trading down and getting Kelvin Joseph at 25 and getting like a bunch of picks. It's a goofy ass mock draft, and I hate the simulators because they got like a Jalen Waddle going at second overall. No, but like at the same time, like and he put up a fight about it. I was like, go look at Mel Kiper's board. He's got him high, and I don't like Mel Kiper.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's even hitting on this guy is amazing. And like I don't know, man. He's not going to be a day one pick as of now is what what scouts are hearing, but I think he deserves it, and I think he's going to be a big steal in the draft. He's one of the most underrated. Him and Grant are some of the most underrated players in the class.
I hope the rest of the league don't like him. I hope they scared of him. I hope they – because, look, I tell you what, one thing before I hang up on you. I remember I forgot the year it was, but it was the Marcus Peters draft or whatever. And and then I was watching film on Corners or whatever. Then the news came out that Marcus Peters choked his coach. I'm like, who the hell choked his coach? What you mean he choked his coach? I don't want no character concerned guys on my team. And then I went to go watch him, and Marcus Peters was the best cornerback in that draft. So, hey, man, you just got to deal with the good and the bad, man. You just got to hope he don't choke you. Nick Gash, appreciate you, dog. Salute.
Right. Peace out.
Great call, man. I had a super chat. It's a lot of commotion in this chat box, by the way. I appreciate y'all for being here on my way back. We did not get fired on my day off. As Modi has dropped a dime in the super chat. Hey, I used to complain about not having shoes until I met a man who didn't have feet. Let me find my goddamn button. Hold on, you let me show you what the hell going on. Come on, son. What are you doing? Fantastic quote. Tyler the Scout was on the phone. Maybe he's in the chat box. Maybe he had to run or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah, here we go. Shoot. Sorry, Voch. I had to head out. Work starts soon. I'll call back in on the next one. Call back, depending on when me and Jeff do, call back Thursday. If me and Jeff go live Wednesday, call Thursday. If me and Jeff go live Thursday, call Friday. All right? If you want to call into the show, the number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. So, like, I had, like, a fake Voch Lombardi Cashapp situation that was up there or whatever. I had to call the Cashapp Illuminati to get this taken care of. I had to talk to 6 people to get some shit worked out because they love to run you through their automated system. But we finally got the regular Voch Lombardi tag. So it ain't Voch Lombardi 6'3". It ain't Voch Lombardi YT no more. It's regular Voch Lombardi. I just want to say that before we da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people love to contribute via Cash App. So there we go. Coach Evans in the chat box. I'm going to go on his channel in about an hour, 15 minutes or so to go over there, check on him, see what he's talking about. But until then, we're going to get Ed from Atlanta on the phone, see what he's talking about. What's up, brother Eddie?
What's poppin', Voch?
Cool, my guy.
Yeah, man. Kyle Pitts top 10 should never be a thing ever.
So,
the fact that is a thing. If you draft that shit, your team deserves to lose every single game for the next 5 years.
So there's a couple angles I like to look at this, though, brother Ed, because I agree with you. Kyle Pitts probably should not be going top 10, but this the whole thing about it, though, brother Ed. It's 2 ways to look at it. All the mock drafts saying it. That means some media scout has heard something, so it might be a thing. That's unfortunate. But we have to take into account that just because we won't do it, don't mean that some team that can't draft won't do it. It's a lot of things that we in the streets won't do, like take AJ Terrell and Damon Arnett in the first round. You know, it's a lot of things that we won't do, or take Greg Rousseau in the first round. That's gonna happen at some point. So you have to. I think if we're projecting, we have to be prepared that Kyle Pitts could go top 10, and we got to make our projections accordingly. As long as it ain't my team, but we just gotta make account for it.
Right, but I think there's a huge difference because a tight end is just a receiver that's not good enough to play receiver. So, but when you get a guy on the outside that can actually stretch the field, that's way different than drafting. I would say AJ Terrell, because AJ Terrell was at least a very solid prospect at corner, who I definitely had over Christian Fulton and most of the other guys.
You ain't have him over CeeDee Lamb though. you ain't have him over CeeDee Lamb. Hold on, let me roll my button. Hey, let me tell you something, dog.
Don't we play you guys this year?
Huh?
Don't we play you guys this year?
We played y'all last year, so I don't know if we're gonna do it again, but we might. AJ Terrell ain't like nobody.
I'm not looking at the schedule.
AJ Terrell ain't like nobody.
I'd put some money. AJ Terrell holds CeeDee Lamb or whichever receiver he covers.
AJ Terrell ain't like nobody up, dog. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and move on with your life, sir. You can go ahead and move on with that. But so if the Falcons took Kyle Pitts, you'd be pissed off. You'll be pretty mad about that.
I'd become a NFL fan, not a Falcons fan. I would not watch them. Well, I would watch them, but I wouldn't care.
You don't like your Falcons?
I wouldn't watch their film over and over again.
You turn your back on the Falcons? What are you? No.
I'd turn my back on them.
I'd
only watch them on game day. I would not watch them Monday or Wednesday. Wouldn't do it.
At some point, I'm gonna deep dive into the Kyle Pitts film session. I've watched Kyle Pitts. I've watched him a lot, but what I mean by deep dive is I want to look at his outside receiver reps, then differentiate him from his inline reps. Because I need to figure out if he's just a bad receiver playing tight end, then that might be a bad investment. But if Kyle Pitts is as good outside, then we need to have a conversation about Kyle Pitts possibly being a receiver. Because this is my thing. If Kyle Pitts is not as good as a receiver as he is outside as he is inside, then if you take Kyle Pitts over Jalen Waddle, you're an idiot. Or if you take him over Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase for that matter, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, just draft a receiver in the second round, put his ass at tight end, and you'll have Kyle Pitts mismatching people to death. You see what I'm saying? So I think in order to realize how important Kyle Pitts is or how good he is, we need to grade him as an outside receiver. That's the next mission. When I'm done with these corners or whatever, that's the next thing we're gonna do. Figure out Kyle Pitts.
Right. I think I will say, when was T.J. Hawkinson drafted? 9 by Detroit or
8.
Some dumb shit?
8, super high. High as hell. Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
See, that's extremely stupid. At least I can say this. If you have a cornerback who's not super great matched up on Kyle Pitts, I really think Kyle Pitts will bust his ass. You're not just going to be able to put an average corner on him and just let that corner play football one-on-one split out wide. I don't think you can do it.
But this is my thing, though. But hold on now. Time out now. And let's be fair to Kyle Pitts now. I'm talking shit to Kyle Pitts. But I've watched a lot of Kelvin Joseph, a lot of Pat Surtain, a lot of J.C. Horn. Kyle Pitts got catches on those guys. You got catches on them. You know? Now, when we go back.
He definitely does. And they're all on in-breaking routes, of course.
I agree. Now, like I said, we're gonna go back into the deep dive, and we're going to figure out why that was the case. Because I know the Kelvin Joseph one, I know that was more of an angle situation. One on was a rub route. Other time, he just flat out beat Surtain, so I ain't going to say nothing about that. But I think we got to figure out, one, what the value of a tight end is, and two, we got to figure out how good Kyle Pitts is away from his tight end value. Because if Pitts is only a good receiver that's running past linebackers, then you can create a Darren Waller type situation where you can get a receiver from a damn triple option team in college and turn his ass into a great ass tight end. I think it's worth talking about.
That's true. And we know why he beat Surtain, though, because Surtain always bails deep early because he doesn't trust his long speed.
I just said that in the film session today. Ooh. Also, too, though.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I, like just guys in the league been trying to do this for years now. Anyway, whether it's Cowboy fans wanting to bring back Dez Bryant and just say, hey, can we just make him a big tight end? Or Cardinals fans making Fitzgerald the big slot, calling him a de facto tight end or something like that. Or it's another example. In the draft, the kid from Texas, wide receiver, funny name, Lil Jordan Humphrey, right? People wanted to make him just a full-blown tight end just because he was a slow receiver. So I think that's a common thing in the league now. I just don't think that we should be taking that position like bad receiver turn tight end. We just shouldn't be taking that top 10 unless the Eagles take him, and that'll be hilarious. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Next thing, number one, I'm jealous you got all 22. Mm-hmm. Number two, I still can't figure out these corners as far as I have Kelvin Joseph 1. I think you have him 2, right?
The only reason I got him at 2 is because I'm grinding J.C. Horn film now just to kind of differentiate the two, because I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. I don't want to have recency bias because Kelvin's the last guy I watched. So that's why I'm dropping cornerback film sessions now, because I'm just rewatching guys. I've rewatched Pat Surtain. Kelvin Joseph definitely better than Pat Surtain. So next I'm watching Caleb Farley. We'll see. Then I'm going to watch J.C. Horn, make a video on him. We'll see. If at the end of this process, if I like him better than J.C. Horn, then Kelvin Joseph is cornerback number 1.
Gotcha. So help me out here.
Yes,
and I guess you can look for this when you watch it. So I like J.C. Horn. The problem is when I feel like guys got a step on him, I don't have the all 22 to see it. Mm-hmm. There was one where I forgot what game it was, but he basically was in off coverage, and the receiver started stemming outside and then ran a post, and the quarterback underthrew the shit out of the ball, and then he caught up. But he was clearly beat by at least like 10 yards. Maybe that's a little harsh, but he was clearly beat on that. My only question with J.C. Horn is, does he have long speed? And by long speed, I mean makeup speed. Because I'm pretty sure Kelvin Joseph has long speed, but I don't know if Kelvin Joseph is making up ground. Actually, I don't think many corners, all these first top 5 corners, or quote-unquote top 5 corners, none of them have makeup speed.
Yeah.
But I think Kelvin Joseph is actually the only one that has long speed. So if you can look at all 22 and watch the route stemming deep and see if he can get back in their hip pocket, that would be awesome. And the same thing for Caleb Farley, too, because he plays corner a little bit differently. He likes people going towards the sideline because he can stay on their hip. Yeah. The problem is when you watch the Miami game and you watch the what's the other film on there? Anyway, you could just watch Miami. They usually have a step on him until the garbage-ass quarterback throws the ball, and then you see the receiver turn and look, and then Farley's back in their hip pocket because the receiver turns and looks. So that's something else that I can't see from Farley either.
Thing about Farley's the best athlete out of all of them. So if you asking about makeup speed, Farley got the makeup speed. This is the problem with Farley, though. Farley don't have the technique to work well with that speed right now. So when we talk about like the lack of speed, and I'll be doing film on this so everybody can see it, but on that Miami film, it was actually 2 deep balls that happened actually on it. But Farley would catch up, but he never looks back for the ball, so he just ends up running through people. You know what I'm saying? Like he never stops. He just keeps on running. That's gonna be a problem on the next level because teams just gonna like ball placement, back shoulder fade you to death or whatever. But in terms of flat out running, Caleb Farley is the best out of all of them, just flat out running. Kelvin Joseph can run, and I think he runs a little better than J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn not slow. And to be fair, Surtain not slow. He just not as fast as the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of depends on what you grade as slow. But J.C. Horn can definitely run. If you one of my Patreon members, I got some J.C. Horn film up there, and if the rest of the Patreon would wants to do it, we could rewatch a little bit of J.C. Horn if y'all want to. But it's Kelvin and J.C. Horn right now as my 1A, 1B guys. And whenever I figure that out, I'll just decide whoever one is. But both them dudes nice to me, and they better than than Farley and Surtain. So me and you on the same track for the most part.
Right. I think the most impressive play that I think that shows that Kelvin has nuance is the route against Devonta Smith, to where you can, if you really watch closely, as soon as Devonta Smith rounds the out route, which Devonta Smith knows how to run one, but if you round it, it's typically because you're trying to set up the double move. You'll see Kelvin Joseph look back at Mac Jones, and as soon as he sees that Mac Jones is holding the ball, he looks straight back towards Devonta Smith's hips, and then he rides him up the field. So I think that's what puts him over all of them to me, because that's complete nuance.
Sure.
Corners like Farley or Surtain continue for a second to look at the quarterback. But in that moment, he understands that, hey, if he's going to run the rest of this out, there's a chance he's going back up. And that's why he was able to actually stay with Devonta. Because if he's one more second too early, he's totally beat. He's done.
Sure. I love the player, but we'll talk about that the closer we get to draft day. Ed from Atlanta, appreciate you, my guy.
Yes, sir. Take it
easy. Yep. Going down the list. We gonna go V from Dallas up next. Cool ass Drake on deck. Justice then Jets. All right. So call into the show if y'all wanna get your thoughts and opinions out, whatever they may be. 515-606-5187. Access code 309-104. I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and come on in and get on out, because I gotta go holler at Coach Evans in about 50 minutes. So come on in. V from Dallas, what's happening?
How you doing, man?
Cool, my guy. How about you?
Yo. Oh, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in Texas like you, so, it's been a long week, but hope everybody getting through it. Anyway, I got to ask you, man, I know this is a draft show. As Cowboy fans, right, you've done all this work into the draft and who you think will be the best fit and potential. I do have a question about Caleb Farley and the corner from Kentucky, and I just kind of got a question about how you're grading these corners overall. Like, are you grading these corners based on, and I'm talking about you specifically, are you grading them based on potential? Like I know you talk about being like a floor guy or a ceiling guy, but as a Cowboys fan, if you were to pick one of these corners, does that like tweak your scale a little bit versus like you drafting as a Cowboys GM versus you grading them as prospects?
Got you. Before I answer your question, though, shouts out to Shaq, the Vikings fan. He dropped 25 in the super chat. Appreciate you, sir. Let me give you a little button on that, dog. Let me just hold you down one time, dog. Okay. Brother Shaq said, welcome back. Just wanted to say, can't wait to see you do a video on Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's Equinemia's little brother, wide receiver from USC. He's a hard effort guy and potential rookie of the year material. Shaq bold prediction. Appreciate you, man. I bet he can win a Spellathon. I bet he got the best ACT out of everybody. I bet he could do that. Appreciate you, Shaq. So V from Dallas. So like when I'm building my board, I don't bring cowboyness into it. When I'm doing draft stuff, I don't qualify cowboy picks. Now if it's a particular cowboy question, like if you ask me, Voch, which one of these corners fit better, then I can give you a different answer. But if I'm just like when I'm grading players and I'm making my board is straight up and down who I think the best guys are. So was your question is who I think is a better fit for the Cowboys or who I think is just better in general? Like, what was your actual question?
Because like,
go ahead.
I guess because like at 10, right? Like if I'm considering, am I going to stay at 10? Am I going to trade down and try not to pick a corner? Because Caleb Farley, to me, that would be the only corner that you would take to me at 10. But if I'm looking at, if I'm looking at like maybe I can get a Jason Horn or Keldon Johnson later on down the line,
and
I feel like he fits just as good with the Cowboys to where I don't have to pick him at 10. Like I wonder just how much of that goes into your equation of like, okay, like, yeah, I really like this guy, but we can get by with not drafting him to draft somebody else.
Gotcha. So this is the problem with that, is that you're using a preconceived board to draft on your opinion. What I mean by that, when you said, can I take Farley at 10 or can I get Horn or Joseph later? This is my problem with that. You could take Farley at 10, but if I think Kelvin Joseph is better than Farley, I'll take Kelvin Joseph at 10. If I think J.C. Horn is like, when you listen to the media and you look at these mock drafts and they all say, oh, Kelvin Joseph may go in the 20 somewhere, or J.C. Horn will go in the late teens somewhere, that kind of gets stuck in your mind because that's what that mock is. But if I don't value Pat Surtain as that guy, I'm not drafting him there. Think about this. Like when the Cowboys had when we were projected as the 4th overall pick, Pat Surtain was one of the guys that they was talking about us drafting. Cowboys drafting at 10 now. Pat Surtain is one of the guys that they talking about drafting. You could trade back to 15. Pat Surtain is still in that pool of guys that you could draft at 15. It says a lot about the player. You know what I'm saying? That you can be projected anywhere up in there. So in my mind, dog, like, I'm not just assuming Pat Surtain as a 10th overall pick just because Mel Kiper says so. If I think Kelvin Joseph better than Pat Surtain and I'm at 10 and it's out of Kelvin or Surtain and I don't think there's another player on the board better than them, I'm taking Kelvin Joseph at 10 and I don't care what somebody else's board say. You see what I'm saying?
That's fair. I got just a few other questions. I'm trying to quick hit.
Time out, sir. I know I keep cutting y'all, but Miss Jackie's in the chat box right now. Miss Jackie sent me multiple emails. She was checking up on me. She got her sister involved, Miss Nita involved. They was looking out for old Voch. Miss Jackie, you just getting here. But what I was saying earlier was I got a lot of donations from you reaching out. So I took a little bit of it and made some groceries, but I had a lot left over because my situation wasn't horrid. Like my situation was kind of crazy, but it wasn't terrible. So I took some of that leftover money that I didn't use, and I donated that to other people. So Ms. Jackie, you was very pivotal in that whole thing happening. So I just wanted to be transparent with you and let you know what was going on with the donations and contributions and all that. So Ms. Jackie, appreciate you for everything you did. I think we all did great things with that. My bad, brother V from Dallas. What you were saying now, dog? Go ahead. This is my second time cutting you off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you good, man. God bless her too, though. Like neighbors helping neighbors out here in Texas. That's what we do.
100%.
That's what we do. But
100%. Go ahead. I gotta cut y'all one more time.
So
shouts out to Rue Glock in the chat box. Shouts out to brother Pat 1984 up in there. Shouts out to Roshan in there. Shouts out to Jess in the chat box. Shouts out to Draft Time. Anime Dolphin, I think I shouted you out. Twitter Brandon in the chat box. Shouts out to you. Who else up in there? Ken and Aisha up in there. Shouts out to y'all. All right, cool. Last time I'm cutting you off. Go ahead, sir. My bad. I'm sorry. Pete in the chat box. What's up, Pete?
All right,
go ahead. Cool. Go ahead.
All right, so now I'm gonna ask you a question as a Cowboys fan, and not necessarily about draft bots. Mm-hmm. So it gives me a nightmare, like thinking about Patrick Surtain next to Trayvon Diggs, because I feel like the Cowboys defense overall lacks team speed, like good speed. Like Anthony Brown is fast, but he's not really good enough to stay on the field. So how much of that will play into your decision about like drafting whom, what, where, whatever?
So if you're specifically asking me from a Cowboys perspective,
right?
I don't think Surtain fits the Cowboys all that much. Actually,
as a cover three corner.
So this is my thing about cover three, right? Cover three is cover three, but we ain't only gonna be playing cover three. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be mixing up a bunch of looks. There's gonna be a bunch of cover one in there. So we're looking for a one high safety, right? We just can't run cover 3 70 snaps a game because they'll figure it out at some point. You gotta ask yourself.
I agree.
You gotta ask yourself if you're in a situation where you gotta cover 1-on-1 with no safety help. Do you feel great about Pat Surtain doing that, right? If we looking at 4 corners and we looking at the corner that got the high floor, but he has like speed issues, right? He got top speed issues. He could possibly get beat deep. If the Cowboys are going to be a team that plays cover 3 and plays cover 1, I don't want the dude that got deep speed problems because in essence, cover 3 versus a 9 route is the same thing as cover 1. If it's cover 3 and both corners are running their deep thirds, they running down the sideline, one safety high in the middle, and you running 9 routes on both sides, cover 3 and cover 1 is the same thing. So if I gotta have speed on the outside, I don't want the dude that got speed issues. Or if I gotta call an audible to cover 0 one time and man cover with no safety help, I don't want the dude with speed issues. Now, if we're a cover 2 team and you can guarantee me it's always going to be safety help behind me, I feel really good about the cornerback that got speed issues that's probably better with his short area quickness if it's always a safety behind him. But you mean to tell me the Cowboys going to be running a situation where there ain't always going to be safety help? Pastor tend to be good sometimes.
I agree.
But shit, give me the dude that can run.
I agree, man.
Go ahead.
And then I got one other point, and then kind of like a last quick hit on Kyle Pitts. So how much of Dak Prescott contract situation worries you about what the Cowboys like? I hate the fact that I feel like we did such a good job last year, like addressing needs, or we thought we did anyway, like addressing needs before going into the draft, so we could like draft whatever the best player available, versus this Dak Prescott contract situation being held up against, and it's our fault. It's Jerry Jones and them fault, but being held up against us to where now we got to consider like, okay, I'm not willing to take a quarterback at 10, the quarterback that'll be left anyway. So I wonder, as a Cowboys fan, how much that worries you. And then I also just want to touch on Kyle Pitts. I think if you're one of those teams that you're really good, but you made a trade kind of like the Dolphins, but not the Dolphins, to get into the top of the draft to where you can afford a luxury piece like Kyle Pitts in the top 6 picks, cool. You can do it. Other than that, I don't think you can really draft a tight end in the top 6 picks and look like a smart GM. And then I'll just let you go from there, man. I appreciate the time.
But the problem is, before I hang up on you, is you're kind of assuming that teams draft well. You know what I mean? Because the damn Detroit Lions just took tight end 9th overall. You know what I mean? So let's not assume. Just because the underground draft well, that teams in the league draft well. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, V from Dallas. Salute, great call, man.
Yeah.
Let's just not assume, man. Let's just not assume. We're gonna call an audible. Cool ass Drake. Don't go nowhere. Uncle Charlie just called in. We gotta go to Uncle Charlie first. Then we go cool ass Drake, then Justice, then Jess. It's just gotta fall that way. So Drake, don't go nowhere. We gotta get Uncle Charlie. Drake, hang tight. Uncle Charlie, what's happening with you, man?
Voch, what's going on, nephew?
Bless, man. We bless, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I we was on the other show the other night, and people were saying something had happened to you and things, and I didn't want to, make any comments or anything because I kind of stayed still.
Yeah.
But are you all right, nephew?
Oh man, but listen, let me tell you something. This is how I know you got love for Voch, because I can hear the seriousness in your voice right now. I can hear that tone in your voice. I really appreciate that tone because it sounds like it's coming from a very sincere place. So first of all, I just appreciate you on that level for really showing sincerity on that level. But let me tell you something, man. This whole scenario, it made me a man. It made me a man because I feel like if it was 25-year-old Voch, I would have complained. I would have rolled up in some blanket and just sulked. I would have just been ungrateful about everything that was going on. But 28-year-old Voch, I turned 29 next month. I'm getting old. 28-year-old Voch had a roof on his head. I had blankets. I had shoes to put on. I had 3 pair of socks. I could afford 3 pair of socks to put on my cold feet. You know what I'm saying? I had this couch. I had that bed to lay in. I had money to put gas in my truck to cut the heater on when it was getting cold inside. I could charge my phone. Just a very just listen to what I'm saying. I could charge my phone in my truck when my battery died because you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be a brat about it. I think I was way too old to be a brat about it. You know what I mean? So my lights were off. My water wasn't running. but I was fine on. You know what I'm saying? The lights was gonna come back on. The water was gonna run. It was gonna get hot again. I was gonna be able to go to the grocery store at some point to get groceries. It was a mild inconvenience, but we blessed at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So Voch is fine. Voch is good.
Well, you know what that's called, nephew? It's called being mature. And you ain't no man unless you go through the hard times.
Right.
See, don't know good times all the time make a man. It's what he do with the hard times that makes a man.
Right.
That's the truth right there, brother.
Right.
But I hope I can make you feel better with this company.
All right.
Let me explain something to you.
Yes, sir.
I hear you on the draft, and you was talking about number 10 pick, and the boy from Alabama.
Yeah.
And you're saying that, well, maybe, that wouldn't be who I would jump at first. Right. And then I brought up Leatherwood, and you said, well, we need to get the guy at the best available pick.
Yeah.
Would those two be the best available pick at 10? And if not, tell me why not.
If Leatherwood is like a really easy, like an easy exercise to do right now. The Cowboys drafting at 10. So pick the 10 best players in this draft. If we walk away with any one of those people, you should feel good about it. Leatherwood ain't one of them people for me. Leatherwood down in the 30s somewhere. So if Leatherwood is in the 30s for me and we got him at 10, I would be upset. I feel like it's about 3 offensive linemen better than Leatherwood. The kid from Northwestern, the kid from Oregon. It's a couple other guys. So the guy that I want on, and I did a film session on this guy, so you can go watch him when the live stream over. Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. I know you know who Chase Young is. Chase Young play for Washington right now. Young boy, rookie, D end or whatever. Rashawn Slater beat up on Chase Young for 4 quarters. Okay,
he sure did.
Leatherwood kind of gets beat up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Leatherwood being as big as he is, as strong as he's supposed to be, Leatherwood kind of gets beat up a lot. I've never seen Rashawn Slater get beat up by nobody. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to pick a guy, I'm picking the dude that whooped Chase Young for 4 quarters. He's the better player to me. And I think he has a chance to be there at 10, and I would be much, much better with Rashawn Slater than Leatherwood. Leatherwood.
Go ahead, nephew. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You good. I was done. Go ahead. You good.
What I'm saying is, like you said, the best available player.
Yes, sir.
Because we can't be as worse as we were this year. We got 10 picks.
Yeah.
And everybody said, well, just go all defense. Well, we're going to have to look at a little bit of offense because we don't know who's going to stay, whose contract going to get reworked. We don't know these things. Right. We don't know these things. And that's why we leave it up to a specialist like you with the reputation of telling us exactly what needs to happen and what's supposed to happen. And that's a credit to your greatness, Voch. It will never change. You're the greatest of all time. You are a legend in my eyes. Wow. You know that. But I'm going to tell you something in close. I got a strange call 2 days ago, and my wife said, hey, phone for you. I said, well, who is it? Well, you just come see who it is. I said, it's the IRS? She said, no. Okay, then I answered. I got on the phone. I said, who is this? This is Miss Mims at the Midget Association, and we heard you on a show one night making fun of midgets. I said, ma'am. I said, is this some kind of joke? She said, no, this is not a joke. I said, well, how you get my number? I've talked to one of your family members. I said, well, I'm going to deal with them later. I said, but ma'am, I wasn't making fun of midgets. I'm not friend, my best friend, Sweet Willie. If a midget, he's my best friend. Now, I bought him a hot chip for Christmas. Okay? I bought him a hot chip for Christmas. So I said, I'm helping the midgets out. So don't go there, ma'am. I said, now, I will tell you something. I got a bad stomach. You don't hear me calling this bad stomach of association saying, hey, my stomach is bad. Can you help me out? Okay? And I just went down to the store yesterday. And we drunk some beer, me and Sweet Willie. He had a small bud, I had a tall bud. Hey, we drunk our beer. It was the same damn beer. It's just mine was tall and it was small. And I'm going to keep on buying Sweet Willie something because he's my best friend. So, man, please do something for me. Unless you know the facts and know who I really am, I said, the next time you call me, the phone call is not going to be good. So I want you to have a good day, take care of yourself, and you'll be blessed. Now, I'm giving you that for free. The next time, you're going to have to pay. So that's all I got to say, nephew. I love you. And how's that cat, nephew?
Oh, you say you and your midget friend went out for a beer just because you got a taller beer and he got a short beer. It's the same thing. It's the same beer.
Damn beer.
It's the same beer. It's just that your body can take it a little better than his, though. I appreciate it. Yo, great call, man. Great call.
I love you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I love you. Just keep your faith, Voch.
Yes,
keep
sir. Likewise, man. Appreciate
love
you.
Man.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Charlie, man. You could hear the sincerity in his voice. You know what I mean? But hey, when it was time to get back to Uncle, it was time to get back to him.
The conference has been locked.
We got 4 calls. We're gonna get to all of them. Let's get Jess out of the way, and then we're gonna go to Cool Ass Drake because I know Drake got a lot of points he want to make. I'm gonna talk to Drake for a good long time because Drake don't call in. Hey, Jess.
Hey, bro.
Let me hold
Miss you, man.
Okay. Wait. Let me.
I was worried about you.
Oh, Jess, you ain't got to worry about. I was good. You know, I was. I just had my blanket. I had my long socks on, and we got through it. You know.
Yeah, I didn't lose power, but I did lose my water.
Yeah. I understand.
My pipes had busted and everything, and I was without water.
Yeah. It was bad.
And now that we on a boil advisory because the pressure was down. So
yeah,
everybody got to drink bottled water and jug water for a minute.
Yeah. But it's gonna be all right though, Jess. We're gonna get through it.
Oh yeah, I didn't complain. I just thank God I'm alive. I mean, you know, the little baby lost his life. The little 11-year-old froze to death. You know, you think about all these different things, and I just thank God I have my life, and my heart goes out to his family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%.
But I was listening to talking about the draft, the pick guy. I was watching your video today. You were showing about the other dude. You were saying everybody wanted to do, but he wasn't doing something. He was slow or something.
Right. Some he was doing. Right. What was he doing, Jess? Tell us what he was doing.
He was putting hands on. You can't be grabbing, man. You can't be coming into the league grabbing on folks now. You got to try to stop them, but holding on, they're gonna get you for holding, man. Give you a penalty on your team.
Right. You can't.
We can't have that. We can't have that.
No, we can't. No,
we need somebody that's gonna get out there and gonna help the defense and offense side to cover that. And we need defense to gonna get out there to help Tank and Randy.
Right.
So we need like 3 defensive linemen that can go in there because they can't stop all 3 of them. They can't double all 3 of them.
Never.
Get them in there and get at that quarterback because you got to get that quarterback to keep him from throwing that ball.
Right.
So we sack that quarterback, and then you also get a pick off there. You know, all the other guys can come on in, but we need them 3 main goats.
Right.
We need another 3rd goat to go out there and help Tank and Randy.
Right.
On the defensive side.
Right. I agree.
And,
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
No. Go ahead. I was agreeing with you. I was just saying that we should.
I mean, because, our defense was top defense up in the early part of Dak, when Dak and Zeke and all them first came in.
Right.
Because that's how they end up calling themselves the hot boys and everything.
Right.
And they need to get back to being the hot boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them hot boys that came out there and everybody wants to be the hot boys.
Right.
But people want to talk bad about defense now.
Right.
But every defense wanted to be like them, and they was hating on them and everything because they was tearing butts up. You talking about you had people that was pro bowlers. So how you going to sit there and say our defense is trash? Defense ain't trash. And then you ain't got the coach out there. He's running that 4-3 when they are used to 3-4, and switching them up and moving them out of place and putting them there. Jalen should have been in his position so he can stay up in his position. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Love you. Appreciate what you did for Vouch.
Yep.
And I'm just glad that you back and able to get back up because I was missing it and seeing you up there and getting all that good feed and information. And y'all need to get some likes up, man. Y'all know Voch bring it to us. Come on, man. Get some likes up. Y'all ain't got to leave up out the chat. Y'all done drop from 375 to 277. Y'all go out, hit the lights, get them up, and come on back in. Y'all ain't got to leave the show.
Right.
Hey, all right, bro. Let me get out the way. I know you got other guys that are gonna come in there and talk even more quality like you.
Jess, let me tell you something. Jess, you are a blessing to this show. You just do you. Don't worry about what nobody else talking about. You just do you. Thank you for calling.
And I was trying to tell you earlier when you came on about Nougat. Nougat is this dude. He got Richard Nougat. He got Nougat Prescott, and then he'll change from Nougat Prescott back to Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. So that ain't the Dak Prescott y'all used to seeing in the chat. You notice he got all these crazy faces. When he go to Nougat, he got shades on Dak. When he go back to Dak Prescott, he ain't got no shades on. The dude got over 25 different accounts, and he be all on Mark's show doing all that crazy stuff. Well, he talks back and forth to himself in the chat.
I tell you,
I don't know how he got them accounts open at the same time, but he do. But he like to trash the man.
I tell you what.
But like I said, we need to get some more goats out there on that defense and offense to protect that.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say about that.
100%. Thank you so much, Des. You call back next week now. If we got trolls in the chat box, let me turn my volume back up. There we go. Let me turn my volume back up. If we got trolls in the chat box and they just chilling, let them chill. If they want to come in here and get shot up, we got admins. So let them fly. let them fly. Shouts out to Ben dropping a dime in the super chat, man. Appreciate you, sir. Now, we're gonna go Drake, then Justice, then Rich, then we're gonna wrap the show up. We're gonna give y'all all the time to talk, say whatever it is y'all want to get off y'all chest. Cool ass Drake, what's up, sir?
Hey, Voch Lombardi, how you doing tonight?
Man, cool, my guy. Everything. What you got for the show?
Oh man, I just wanted to talk cornerbacks for a second in the 2021 draft here.
Let's do it, sir.
I haven't watched all the guys. You know, I'm just starting to get into the corners too. I've watched Farley, Surtain, Horn. I've watched some Kelvin Joseph in the last week because you were talking about him. He's really good corner. I've identified a my guy though. You know, I want to tell you about him.
Okay.
Paulson Adebo from Stanford.
He's nice.
Yeah, you watched him?
That dude gets his hands on a lot of football, sir. He gets his hands on a lot of football.
He's very good with his arms, man.
Yeah, 100%. He's and he probably got ball skills like that because he's a former receiver. You know, he's one of them long, lanky cats or whatever. But as long as you righteous in your belief in how to use him, then I think he'll be just fine as long as you put him in the right situation. Put him as like a cover 3 dude, he'll be good to go. You know, you don't want him chasing around, you know, fast people. You don't want him chasing around Tyreek Hill. You don't want him playing in the nickel or nothing like that. But if his job is to just keep his back to the sideline, run, be tall, and just get hands on the football, Paulson Adebo gonna be straight.
Oh man, he's gonna be a really good pick for like you said, if a team running a scheme that works to his strengths and not against him, he's going to be really, really good. I don't know if he'll be like a number 1 corner, but he'd be a top-tier number 2 corner.
Yeah.
Most definitely, I believe.
Now, his 2018 tape is way better than his 2019 tape. His 2019 tape, which is fine, but he had some bumps in the road, but his 18 tape is crazy.
Yeah, and you know, I saw him get torched by Gabriel Davis. He does have a little bit of trouble with double moves, and I don't know if that's a little bit of a lack of speed. So he's sort of trying to he struggles with double moves, but other than that, he's really sticky.
Yeah.
Like he stays in the hip pocket. He's using his arms to feel for cuts behind it. Like he's just very technical. Not super fast, like you said. You don't want to cover Tyreek Hill or nothing.
Sure.
But if you're a team like Jacksonville, and you got C.J. Henderson last year who can cover the fast guys, and you need a physical corner,
That's a good match.
Like I feel like early second round is very good value for him.
You know what he's like? He's like a less nimble Marlon Humphrey, almost. Like Marlon's feet are quicker and Marlon tackles a lot better because like Marlon tackle like a safety. But like in terms of like how they use length and how they use the sideline, I can see similarities in them. And I hate player comparisons.
I see what you're saying.
So I hate even doing that, but it's just kind of what came into my mind when we're thinking about how long players play long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's not as fast as Marlon, but he is a good tackler.
Sure.
Like he's not like Marlon, like you said, but for a cornerback, he's fearless tackler.
Yeah, Marlon hit like a linebacker. That's different. That's different. It's levels.
Yeah, Marlon's great.
But go ahead.
But I just wanted to tell you that like he's one of my favorite corners as far as like value goes. Because if you can pick him up in the top of round 2, maybe the end of 1, and you just know you're gonna get a good player.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I see him like a third round guy, but it's a lot of good corners this year. So if you don't get one of the top guys, and that could be another reason because I know I got Cowboy fans in my chat box, and this ain't a Cowboy show. This for everybody. But if you don't get a corner at 10, you can find like Greg Newsome at the end of the third. You know, you can get one of the Georgia kids. Yeah. You can get, the Michigan kid, the Michigan State kid. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of options in this draft.
Absolutely. And then that's pretty much all I wanted to say tonight, man. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. Uncle Charlie and Jeff had lovely calls. It was very fun to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Man, sometimes you just got to call the audible on Charlie, man. Charlie different. Charlie bring a different element to the show. But we right back on football when we get back on task though. But appreciate it, last Drake.
Fun stuff.
Yep. Call in.
Hey, have a great night, boss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we gonna end up doing is, cause I'm digging deep in the cornerback right now, and I'm actually behind, cause we're running out of February days. I need to get some more day 2 prospects in my data log, but luckily for me, I watched a bunch of day 2 guys when I was studying day 1 guys, and people led me down the wrong path. So we've watched a lot of day 2 offensive linemen, a lot of day 2 like defensive tackles and things like that, defensive ends and stuff. Linebackers, we watched a bunch of day 2 linebackers, but we're gonna watch the Ohio State kids soon. Got some film on them. I might revisit D tackle just to kind of clean D tackle up a little bit. We should be good on offensive line for a little while. We're gonna finish up day 2 corners. I think we good at safety. So yeah, we on track for the most part. Like I thought I was behind, but the only thing we haven't been looking at is like wide receivers and running backs. And once you get going on them, like you'll be in round 7 before you know it. So I think we on a good pace, but we are 1 week behind, but we will catch up eventually, even though we run out of February days. Justice, then Rich from New York. Then we're going to look at the chat box, and then I'm going to go run over to Coach Evans' channel. That's a Sip 2 Tally. I will put that in the – is it films? I know it's podcasts. I know it's probably films. I think it's Sip 2 Tally films. Yeah. So I'm going to go over there, talk draft with him for a little bit. He might be live now, but he told me 45 Central. So I'll go over there at 45 Central. Let's hear what Justice talking about. Justice up next. Rich from New York on deck. Chat box in the hole. Let's boogie. What's up, Justice?
What up, Voch, bro? You cool?
Man, everything, man. I can't complain about nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. That was a crazy ass week in Texas, right, bro?
It was very interesting. Right. It was very, very interesting. I had never driven on ice before. But it's something else. It's something else. But listen, though, this is the thing about it, though, man. This is the craziest part about it, right? It was 70 degrees outside today. It was a lovely day outside. I worked out.
Bro, I'm gonna spoil this for everybody, dog. Like we're gonna have like a month of just straight 70 hot weather. And then one day one day of the week it's gonna be like 30 degrees, and it's gonna go back up to like 70.
Yep. And then by next month it's gonna be like 105, because that's how life works. like in the middle of April or something, it's gonna be 105. 'Cause that's how Texas work, I guess. I've only been here for like 5 years or so, but goodness,
Yeah.
Be consistent. But my bad though, Jess. I ain't mean to get y'all track. Go ahead, my guy. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Bro. First, I want to talk about JOK a little bit. I know he your boy. He my boy too. But like, I need to get my head right. See if I'm missing something, because a lot of people are calling him a safety Jamal Adams type, and I don't vibe with that at all.
This is my problem with player comparisons with these hybrid type players, is they really ain't got a comparison. So I've seen people compare him to Jamal Adams. I've also seen people compare him to Derwin James. And that's just because he got snaps at both safety, at linebacker, and at nickel corner. I don't think those comparisons are appropriate, because just because they all play that position don't mean they were all good at those positions. Derwin James wasn't good at linebacker. He played it, but he wasn't good at it. Jamal Adams was a solid blitzer from the box. That don't mean he's a linebacker. JOK can play will linebacker. Jamal Adams is a terrible free safety, but he played it. JOK probably won't play free safety, but he's played there. Derwin James is a really good free safety. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because somebody's played there, they want to make those comparisons, but it don't stick if you don't play well there. Like Derwin's probably the better nickel corner out of the three. But if you watch the Clemson game, JOK played a whole game of nickel, and he was fine there.
He did.
But if you watch him in the Florida State game, he played a whole game of will linebacker. So what we got to do when we drafting is we got to project, and we have to, I said it, project, right? We kind of got to use our imagination a little bit, right? Yeah, JOK played some free. He played some nickel corner. He's not going to probably play that for real. He's probably going to be a will linebacker. He's 215 pounds, but Darius Leonard was 215 pounds. So JOK is going to get in the lead. They're going to give him that peanut butter that make people bigger. He'll be about 220, 225 or so. He'll be fine.
Yeah. You watch the Duke game and you can see him rush like about as good as Parsons.
I didn't see Duke.
The kid,
I didn't see Duke. Go ahead.
Bro, he pulled off a spin move that would have put Jalen Phillips to shame.
Then I'll go watch it. JOK versus Duke, you say?
Yes.
I'll go find it and watch. Go ahead.
The kid can do a lot of things for you, but like where he's gonna make his money to me is that he's gonna make his money being a linebacker, dog. Like I've seen this before. Like I've seen if you want to compare him to anybody, compare him to Telvin Smith back in Florida State. Compare him to Miles Jackson, who was our slot record.
Yes. Yes. Good job, sir. Good job, sir. That makes sense. That's a comparison that makes sense. Yes. Go ahead, sir.
I have a lot of respect for Amari Rodgers as a slot receiver, and he guarded him better than any strong safety in this class. But like that don't mean he's a strong safety, dog. Like you don't want, like I don't think you want that dude like covering a deep route, because like if you understand like how football really works, the farther you get, the farther back you go, the harder it gets, dog. That's why like there's a whole bunch of strong safeties in the league that can't play a cover two zone.
Right.
Or a single high. That's why we value people like Winfield and Delpit.
Snake? Hello?
You hear me?
Hey man, quit hanging your phone out the window, man. Come on, dog. We need a stable signal, man. Don't go in the treehouse yet, man. Come on now. What's going on with your phone, sir?
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Hello.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Where we at? I was scared my phone went off for a sec.
Hey
but
man,
yeah,
you threw that mug in the blender or something. Go ahead, dog. We listen.
Yeah. Did you hear? But the main thing is that like you don't want a kid like that playing a deep zone, bro. You want him being a linebacker. You want him blitzing the quarterback, or messing up a running back, or covering a lot of space for you.
Right.
I don't know if he's okay. Like there was film there's film out there right now of Jamal Adams covering, like doing a cover 4, like covering doing a quarters, and it's okay, and it'd probably be better than JOK doing it.
Sure.
At this point in time.
Sure.
But I'm gonna move. But like I have another thing that I'm trying to work through, this Kyle Pitts thing.
Sure.
Like the Kyle Pitts in the top 10 is a little weird to me. I thought the NFL learned that these tight ends straight off the bat don't like produce in the league like that. But I guess they haven't.
NFL never learns, man. Come on now. This NFL we talking about.
True. Like the tight end position to me is a lot like running back, right?
Okay.
You get your value late, not early. But in that respect, you know, when I talk about Saquon Barkley, even though like there's Nick Chubb, even though there's Alvin Kamara, even though there's Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, like Saquon stands out to me, and I don't get mad at the Giants for taking him as high as they did, because you know he was a generational talent. But like somebody's got to show me the film where like Kyle Pitts is a legit, like the best tight end prospect that's going to come out in the next 10 years.
Kyle Pitts is part of his thing or whatever is that people look at the mismatch opportunity, and they look at what he can do for their team in particular. But I feel like we see that every year. Like there's always a pass catching tight end that's better than everybody else, and I think what's putting Kyle Pitts over the edge is that we've seen production from it. But my whole thing is when it comes to tight ends in the league, I think you said that, you know, tight ends are like running backs, and I kind of agree with that you find them later, but I think good tight ends come from good quarterbacks. The best tight ends in the league come from good quarterbacks and systems where they funnel things directly through the tight end. You know what I mean? There's rarely a tight end with a bad quarterback in the league. It's like one. It's like Kittle. Kittle's the only one that got a bad quarterback. But Kittle has a coach that funnels the offense through Kittle sometimes, so Kittle gets productive. But every other tight end, it comes from quarterback play. So in my mind, I don't want to spend that high of a pick on some guy when I can get a guy that's regular, like Blake Jarwin or Dalton Schultz, who could end the season top 5 as long as my quarterback and my system works friendly with them. You see what I'm saying? Plus, I don't want this to be a situation where Kyle Pitts is just beating the shit out of these linebackers and safeties because he's really a receiver. Because I could just go find a receiver in the 7th round, put him at tight end, and just beat the shit out, you know, linebackers and safeties. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ambiguity with you know, Pitts' value or whatever. You know?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said because people got to understand what tight ends are actually used for. What the routes, like if you want to compare them to wide receiver, just compare what like routes they want to run. I bet like if anybody were to ever create a split of the routes that tight end, like majority of the tight ends run, and the majority of the routes wide receivers run, I guarantee you tight end route splits are going to be like drags, some kind of smart routes or curl routes, some streaks, some weird like route where they're running free and then just sit inside the middle of the zone 20 yards down the field or something like that.
Right.
Like they're not going to, like what we ask them to do or what offensive coordinators ask them to do isn't particularly valuable in the same way as a true outside number 1 wide receiver, in which he's running double moves, he's running deep posts, he's running deep digs, he Julio Jones, he running like 15-yard comebacks.
So you got to ask yourself, if you value Kyle Pitts as a receiver, is he better than Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, dog.
Yeah.
I don't think he's better than I'd rather take Jamar Chase. And like I think those two are actually pretty similar.
Yeah. Interesting. Fair point, sir. You ain't said nothing wrong yet. That's all you got? You good?
Is it?
All right, man. Appreciate you, dog. That's Justice. From Dallas, I believe. I think Justice is from Dallas. Appreciate you, my guy. So we at 8:25. Y'all know I got a boogie at 8:45, so we got time. And I'm gonna let Rich get his call off, but just letting y'all know. We got time. Shouts out to Brother Twine, man. Appreciate you. Drop 5 in the super chat. What position on our team are we close to being elite at? I would add to the first. So it's a 2-part question. I would add to that first round. What position on our team are we close to being elite at? Question mark. End. I would add to that first round. So if it's Pitts, so be it. Okay. I'm trying to figure out your question. My bad. What position on our team are we close to being elite at? Question mark. I would add to that first round. So if Pitt, I would add to that first round. So if it's Pitts, so be it. Okay. This is my thing about that though, and I'm gonna assume what I think you questioning here, Twine. Appreciate you for the super chat though, but I'm about to assume what I'm just, you know what I'm saying? What are we close to being elite at? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. A couple spots on the offensive line, but as a whole, I wouldn't consider the offensive line elite. Offensive line is close to being elite. So if you're asking me what can we add one more pick to make that group elite, I would say offensive line. I would say if you're running out Tyron Smith, Rashawn Slater, Biotis, Zach Martin, Leo Collins, shit, you go right back to being top tier in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So make that position group elite with your first round pick and then draft defense with the rest of it. If that's what you're asking, 100%, Mr. Wolf, I'm with that. It's just that if you draft Kyle Pitts to be your tight end, let's just say hypothetically, right? Is Kyle Pitts going to get like 1,100 yards next year? I know for sure Blake Jarwin or Dalton or whoever the hell playing tight end. Whoever playing tight end for us next year is going to be just as good as Kyle Pitts is at tight end, in my mind. So I'd rather take the 10th overall pick and fix something that I feel like we got a legit problem at. Offensive line, cornerback, linebacker, D-tackle possibly. Not D-tackle at 10 or whatever, but you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, appreciate you. I'm just saying hi. Shut up. Let's get Rich from New York on the phone, man. Rich, look, man, I'm sorry I had you waiting so long, and I know you platinum, and you got platinum privileges, but all platinum people called today. My bad, sir, and you just happen to be at the end of the line, so I apologize for that, sir.
It's all good. It's all good, player. Patience is a virtue.
Hey,
first and foremost.
Hold on, dog. Wait a minute. I gotta hit you with a Yamin on that, dog. Yo, son, they don't get it. They don't get it. Go ahead, my guy. I'm listening.
Hey, man, we all gonna get our chance, man, because you are a man of the people when it comes to the draft, so that should be respected. First and foremost, let me just get this out the way, but I'm glad that you are all good down there in Texas. I had an ex-girlfriend that I called to make sure that she was all right down there and her family, so I know things is crazy over there, but I'm glad you're back.
That is very grown and adult and mature of you, because all my exes hate me and they wouldn't dare check up on me. So I feel you, sir. My exes want me to sleep outside while it's snowing, so I feel you, sir. But go ahead. That's very mature.
God damn, there. Shit. All right, man. So, a couple things I want to get into. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. It's the Kyle Pitts thing, and then I want to get on the wide receivers. Right.
Go ahead.
So, couple weeks ago, I remember I was looking at mock drafts, and a lot of Giants fans want Kyle Pitts, and Giants and the people who do mock drafts are like mocking Kyle Pitts to the Giants. And when I look at Kyle Pitts, I look at a guy who's a oversized wide receiver, let's just say, right? But when I do look at him, I think he's not somebody who is going to all of a sudden do something that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
He's a tight end who's obviously a mismatch. If you put him, let's just say fuck it, we put him at like an X receiver or usually a Y receiver, because that's where the Y spot wide receiver, that's where usually a lot of tight ends would go. You would never see a tight end line up at Z because they're not fast enough to go on the outside. So you look at Kyle Pitts, and when I see him, I think, okay, he's going to be good as a receiver. He'll probably be excellent as a receiver. Problem is, he doesn't fit the bill of what you need as a tight end, which is blocking. Not to say he can't gain those skills of being a good blocker,
average blocker, I'll even say. But I think looking at him, I think people are enamored with the infatuation of a mismatch and how he can get open against linebackers, or depending on your personnel, but he can get open against linebackers, strong safeties, whatever, right? And I think that at the end of the day, tight end doesn't matter. Tight end's probably the bottom of the barrel as far as what you would need in an offense. You could find gems later in the draft. That's just something that I wish GMs would understand. Like, drafting T.J. Hockenson at 8, come on. He ain't Gronkowski.
Sure.
Dude, like it's just examples like that to show, like, you can't reach for a tight end like that. I don't care how goddamn special they seem to be on the field and their level of skill. There's always a tight end out there that could possibly do just about the same thing they're doing or even better than that.
Also,
so I just think the whole.
Also, here's another angle too.
Here's another angle too
that you just kind of made me think about too. And I won't make this Cowboys, so this is going to be for everybody listening right now. Would you be hustling backwards? Right? Ask yourself, would you be hustling backwards? If you do line Kyle Pitts up outside, X, Z, wherever you put it, who do you take off the field?
TV's acting up. My bad.
Who the hell is this talking to? Oh, anyway. Who do you take off the field for Kyle Pitts to line up at X or Z? You know? So this is for anybody, right? This is for anybody that's watching right now. But in my situation in particular, if you take Amari Cooper off the field to put Kyle Pitts in his spot, you're hustling backwards. If you take my Gallup off the field to put Pitts in his spot, you got worse. You're hustling backwards. Lamb in the slot? No, sir. Good luck to you. So you got to be a team that's bad enough on offense where you can put Pitts in different spots. Then you got to hope that Pitts can deal with those spots. And from a Giants perspective, the Giants getting burnt from the Ingram pick, and Ingram was the same kind of guy.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
So shit.
Oh, my gosh, yo, you preaching to the choir, man. I get so mad.
Don't talk over the button. Don't talk over the button. Talk over the button. Go ahead. Go ahead, my guy.
Man, I was just thinking about when you said that because we picked him over Ramczyk, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, to be fair, y'all picked old Taco Charlton, but we ain't going to go there, though. We ain't going to go there.
Yeah. That was a bad year.
We ain't going to go there, but yeah, bad year.
That's a bad year for everybody.
But I agree with you, man. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Like, you have to think about the personnel that you put on the field when you think about putting a big tight end like him out there and how you're going to get him open and how you're going to get the others open. And sometimes it don't match up putting a Kyle Pitts in the like the ideologies that you said of Lamb and Coop and Gallup, right? Yeah. It just doesn't. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't fit. So, and you're right. If you do put him on a bad team, it's like he has to do A, B, C, D, all of the 26 letters in the alphabet.
Right.
And that's a lot to put on a tight end, not a wide receiver who might be a little under height, but fast. That's one of the number one things that are needed in a wide receiver, which I was going to go into actually. Like, Kyle Pitts ain't going to be a fast dude for you that's just going to go all up down the field like that. Like, I don't understand what people are envisioning when they see Kyle Pitts, but they need to dead all that because Kyle Pitts will be a good player, Voch, but I think Kyle Pitts will be somebody who will probably be looked over. I mean, just because there's other tight ends that could do what he does. There's nothing that makes him super sensational. Like, his receiver skills are great, but we know what the other side of the story is as far as his blocking. So that's my thing on Kyle Pitts. And I just want to get to the receivers real quick, and I'll leave it at that.
Go ahead, quickly.
Okay, no problem. So just between Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase, and Waddle, right? Do you feel like which one would you think would be the most impactful in the draft? Do you think that depends on the team that picks them, yes, or just like straight up their skill of play? Well, how they play, my bad.
Man, it always depends on the situation, man. It always depends on where they go. Now, sometimes it come down to skill, You know, sometimes it comes down to who's the better guy, and I always take the better guy regardless. Let's just take last year's for example. I always thought that Justin Jefferson was better than Jalen Reagor. I mean, Jalen Reagor also, but I thought he was better than Ruggs, right? So, even if Justin Jefferson goes to, I don't know, Jacksonville or something, and Ruggs go to like the Packers, right? I still gotta see through. I still gotta see through that and be like, all right, man, like Ruggs on the Packers, like that's what this is right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna greatly come down to who they go to. But if I think the guy is better, then I just think that the better guy is gonna make that team better. You know what I'm saying? Like Kirk Cousins ain't great, but I think really highly of Justin Jefferson. So Justin Jefferson bumps Kirk Cousins up one time. You see what I'm saying? I don't think Ruggs and Kirk Cousins would have been a great marriage. I don't think that whatever receiver was taken at wide receiver 2 that goes to the Vikings was going to be great. I don't think that's the case. I think Kirk got better because Jefferson was great. You see what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, totally understand what you're saying, and that definitely does make a lot of sense. Because man, you seen Kirk Cousins in the DC days, and you see him with Jefferson. It's like, wow, what a difference. Yeah. But look who he's throwing to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're absolutely right about that. But I'm gonna hop off of this, man. I'll definitely tune in whenever you make another draft episode. Appreciate the time as always, players. Stay safe out there. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Shouts out to you. Salute.
All right, man. Take care.
The next episodes we're gonna be I'm gonna be dropping cornerback film as much as possible. We're gonna be looking at I think Caleb Farley might be next. I'll be dropping Caleb Farley film. And of course I'm gonna do the show with Jeff Wednesday. Or Thursday, depending on where he's at with it. And then I'm gonna do a Lombardi's Draft Talk Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what happens with that show. I was in the chat box. I asked Ruglock, has he has he watched a lot of wrestling growing up or whatever? Ruglock was like, he was talking about don't talk over the button, like don't talk over the war call. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching a lot of wrestling, man. Hold on, let me just hit the war call. I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, just from a nostalgic, situation or whatever. Just going back and just watching the old stuff. Because new wrestling is terrible. But I'm a big fan of The Rock, man. The Rock is the GOAT. He's the greatest. He's the best of all time. Best to ever do it. And I almost caught myself emulating one of the mannerisms. So when The Rock be like, if you just know you're rolling, shut your mouth and listen, they're chanting his name and he'll push the microphone down and look up in the air. I almost caught myself. I almost caught myself doing this when Rich was talking. I was like, Rich, don't talk over the war call. Shut your mouth. Listen. I almost caught myself doing that. So that's why I chuckled a little bit. I had to catch myself, and I ain't want to, I ain't want to do too much. It is 8:38. I need to check in and see what Coach Evans' show is doing. But I will check in with the chat box, talk to y'all for like 7 minutes, and see whatever it is that y'all may want to talk about. Y'all possibly couldn't have called into the show, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you may not have wanted to call into the show. You may have had something to do. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But what's good with you? Chat box. Y'all got something you want to say? Let me know. Hey Voch, can you say hi to my girlfriend Sharita? Sure, Manuel. What's her last name so I can make it formal? What's Sharita's last name? It doesn't matter what her last name is. All right, my bad. Shouts out to Sharita, man. Shouts out to you, miss. Thanks for tuning in. Who is this that just said this? Okay, Manuel. Yeah, Manuel's a good guy. Manuel's a good guy. Shouts out to you, Manuel and Sharita. I hope y'all stay together for a long, long time. Shouts out to you. I wish I wasn't so stupid. Pitts is a wide receiver, not a tight end. Yeah. Rager was burning Patrick Peterson last year. All right. Vice knows we talking about the Rock's the GOAT. Know you're wrong, shut your mouth. Somebody just got hit with a big ass. Let's see what happened here. What's going on with Alex here? Rager better than Lamb. Okay, that's why he got you. Okay. Okay, that's why he got you up out of there. Okay, I got you. Hey, look, man, because sometimes I be wanting to go over some of these timeouts sometimes just to make sure my admin is good, and Joe be shooting his lit rifle. And I'm like, why Joe kick this? Why Joe put this cat in timeout? And I'm like, okay, go. Now, Joe, if somebody got a legitimate comment that just doesn't agree with yours, we shouldn't kick him. But it does seem like this person was being a bit egregious, so we gon' thoughts on Morig? He cool. He's straight. The war cry. This war cry in particular is the Jabari war cry from Infinity War, right before they had the Battle of Wakanda. They met out in the field and they did their little war call or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My effa. All right. Hey, let's do something cool real fast. Let's go holler at Coach Evans and blow his chat up. Before we do that, let's kind of just watch what he's doing right now. Let's just watch and see what he's talking about right now. Let's go to YouTube here. They do this on Twitch all the time, and I'm like, man, one day I'm gonna do this on YouTube. I'm gonna watch somebody else stream while I'm streaming, and then we're gonna go over there and fill a stream up. Allegedly. Let's see what's going on here. StreamYard trying to sell me some shit. Good thing I got you on mute. Let's see. Oh, they got a couple people over. Oh, they got a round table over there, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Evans invited me to a round table.
Jordan was the best tight end coming out of high school.
Coach Evans invited me to a round table. One of the
best prospects coming out of the school in Las Vegas, the same school that Snoop's son went to, whatever that is. But again, so we got tight ends for Sutton and Simply, and Brodney and Jose really didn't want a receiver at all. They wanted O-line help.
Now to clarify, we're big on wide receiver. We just want that wide receiver to come in free agency. We want that to be in free agency.
I wonder, can we crash this party?
Spend the draft.
Let's see what they're talking
about. Showing up the O-line.
Let's see what they're talking about.
Got you. So the second question was, what free agent wide receiver do you think would fit Baltimore's scheme? Sutton, you can take that one first.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna talk about a guy that we talked about in the last episode of the Purple Rain podcast.
The Purple Rain podcast.
Corey Davis. I think that Corey Davis.
Wait, Playboy. The Purple Rain podcast. That's interesting. Hey, yo, chat. I'm about to log in. Well, I'm about to go hop in over there. I think this is what Coach Evans invited me to. Chat box. If y'all would do me a favor, run over there and just shout out Voch Lombardi, right? Be like, Voch Lombardi sent us over here. Voch Lombardi said that he was gonna come through, or Voch Lombardi will be here in 5 minutes. Appreciate y'all. This man say he had the Purple Rain podcast. That is hysterical. If y'all would do me that favor, go over to this channel. I'm about to log in. I'm about to, I guess, hop in this thing now and get in on this talk. I guess in on this conversation. I guess this is what Coach Evans wanted me to hop in on. So go over there, show some love in the chat box. Tell him Voch Lombardi sent you, and we'll go from there. Yes, Coach is the Ravens guy. So I'm about to end my stream here. Y'all hold down for the Doski Woski. I'll see y'all over there in the chat box, and I'll see the damage that y'all do. Not even damage. I'll just see I'll just see what y'all do here. I'll just see what. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
We got.
And we talked about it too. If we got Corey Davis, hopefully maybe Mark Andrews wouldn't be triple teamed, double teamed, as he always is. Because we saw it in the AFC Championship game. How was Travis Kelce being single covered? Oh, that's right. The Chiefs have everybody around him. So if we got Mark Andrews single covered, let's
see if we can get a shout out real fast. Let's see if we can get a shout out.
And I didn't think about that. Because of Tyreek and Hardman and all those guys, you really They nickel and dimes you to sleep with Kelsey.
Don't be fake, Coach. Get us that shout out. Give my chat box a shout out.
Kelsey had like 12, 13 catches.
Shout my chat box
almost
out.
At
Don't be fake.
Because you got to stay over the top.
Don't be fake.
You know, do we? With that, if we want to go with that model, that game plan, Duvernay should be a part of the scheme a lot more.
Hold up, give me that shout out,
He's a guy
Coach.
that can get over the top of people.
Shout my chat box out.
But get the safeties, like we talked about earlier. Get the safeties back there.
The catching it part's important, though. I mean,
Purple Rain podcast.
I'll be happy if you can locate it.
Come on now.
The thing is with and I'm gonna back up a little bit with Duvernay and Prochet.
Come on now.
There was this big thing when they came out about their drops in college. Everybody said they were the 1-2 with the least drops.
That's what I'm saying.
But the difference is when you go back and look at tape, and I did it last year with my receiver stuff. Duvernay.
Nobody noticed that they number went from 70 to 112. Nobody said nothing here.
Catches.
Woo woo. Lamar Jackson.
Appreciate the $1.99 C Iron. Appreciate the $2. But Prochet.
Ain't that a bitch?
His stuff was real routes.
I'm offended.
Prochet played a lot taller than 5'9", 5'10", whatever.
I'm gonna keep running this for a little bit. I'm gonna run this for a little bit.
He played a lot taller than.
I'm gonna run for a little bit. Maybe just
he just not fast. And if I'm not mistaken, Prochet had 2 plays this year.
Let me see what Coach.
He had an empty set. He had an empty set, but he ran a zig route, caught it for a first down. Maybe 2 games later against the Steelers, they came out in the same formation, ran the same route. The Steelers picked it off. We didn't see Prochet anymore after that as far as in the offense.
Yeah, and watching them in college, I came away very impressed with Prochet's hands. You know, he made some spectacular catches. You know, I don't remember seeing him drop anything. You know, in college. With Duvernay, you know, he caught things that were within his. You know, he doesn't have very long arms, and he doesn't. You know, despite his.
Let's start taking bets. Hold on, time out. Jump into the fire. Cool, I'll follow. Coach Evans, love Russo.
He's not gonna embarrass you with drops. Right?
Brother Vaughn with the super chat.
Vaughn
gonna get this shit done.
I don't
Vaughn
know
gonna get this shit done. Look at Vaughn.
Open consistently against NFL coverages.
Anybody else want to piggyback off that?
They went from 70 views.
Well, I want to talk about Duvernay. The Ravens tricked me, man, when they drafted him.
They went from 70 views to 122, and Coach ain't shot my chat out none. He ungrateful.
Doing that before, and I thought, okay, they're trying to get those type of receivers, you know, to run more of those screen passes, things like that, and those short routes, and they didn't do it.
Check Twitter. I sent
so that's why you
didn't.
I think that's why you didn't see him on the field that much, because his route running isn't as polished as a Prochet, right? And we saw that in the one play in the Tennessee game where Lamar tried to get to him deep, and he just didn't know where the ball was, and he gets picked off.
Don't ignore my.
I think that kind of just limited how much they could use him in the offense. I think they know what he's good at, and they didn't run those plays.
Got you.
And then Duvernay, I felt like all we saw was just jet sweeps. They didn't trust him running routes.
Yeah.
And it felt like just like
they're gonna respect my chat box.
Utilize them more, but
they're gonna respect my chat.
Big offseason for the Ravens, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a huge offseason.
Let me cut you right here. I was directed by my son. Everybody that's coming from Voch live stream, man, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Vaughn from Freeport dropped 5 in the super chat. He said, Voch D. Lombardi sent me over here. What's good, guys? One love. I appreciate it. Shaq Edwards come through with 5 in the super chat. Voch sent me, but I see you guys are Ravens fans. I say you trade up for Jamar Chase or Smith, and they jumping the gun over here. They going off schedule. But with Voch, you know that's what you expect. These people gonna come through and they gonna gangbang, you know, bail you up. No offense to that, but that's what they do. They just come like gangbusters because it's about 30,000 of them, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. Which is a crazy number.
That's what's up.
It's 60,000.
But again, and we're gonna basically, he's gonna pop in here in a second. Which,
respect.
If you don't know, you know now. And we're gonna hit him with those same.
Yo, chat box, appreciate y'all for holding it down, man. For the Doski Woski. I'm about to go hop in on that show. Check us out.